What's up, y'all? How you doing? It's your boy Gerald. It is the 31st of May 2014. How was your week? I hope it was pleasant. I was hoping you didn't claim no negativity and you was able to sidestep the drama that is always there waiting to more or less cause you to have a different perspective in your life. A perspective that is not yours, but waiting for you to claim. So how you doing? You doing good? I hope so. So, as you already know, we're on the verge of summer. Even though Memorial Day was last weekend, we're feeling the effects of what's to come. So it's very important that you take the time to embrace where you are and have a great perspective on it. Now, I know you're probably wondering, well, how am I able to do that, Gerald, when I've got so much going on in my life and I'm trying to make sense of what I do day by day? Well, first and foremost, why don't you pump your brakes? Why don't you slow down a little bit? Because as you already know, when you're constantly going to and to, you are going to overlook something. You may overlook something very obvious. You may actually overlook a disclaimer saying, hey, turn left when you should turn right. Or worse, you may see a sign of caution that may have already been there, but you did not notice it because of the environment, the distraction that consumes you because of the environment or the energy of the environment. It's very important that you know your worth. But I want to put this video out there because for some reason, there are some of you that feel that life has given up on you, that you were born to be victimized or play the role of the victim. I'm here to tell you that is not the case. I know that you're probably saying, well, Gerald, you don't know. It seems like I've been cursed. I've got a hand of bad luck everywhere I go. Says no matter, I can't catch a break because of the fact that every time I try to do something that is best for me, I always get the result that I did not desire. The reason why this is happening is because you are not investing in yourself. You're actually investing in your fears. Let me repeat that. You are not investing in yourself. You are investing in your fears. So, it's very important that you take stock on everything you do. Everything that you come in contact with, the people that you allow access to you, the events that come from those connections, as well as what you do from those actions that were chosen. Now what is required is for you to take stock into your life. You do understand you are priceless. You do know that, right? I know you've probably heard me say this time and time again. I'm not saying it because I'm just preaching to the choir. I'm saying this because this is your validation right now. Now, you've got to make a conscious decision to roll your sleeves up and do the work. For example, I know that there are some of you right now that for some reason have a innate dream. You've had this dream since you were a child. It's actually a natural gift. You know it. Everyone that has had the ability to be positioned in your life and you've done this, they always say the same thing. It's a blessing. But for some reason, your mind has convinced you that you're not worthy. You're not worthy to share this with the world. Or it's a byproduct or a consolation prize? Well, let me tell you something. Was your name a consolation prize? Huh? Because guess what? When you took your first breath, which was given by your higher powers, I know him as my Lord Jesus Christ, that comes with it. You know, like we always have that spiritual and emotional baggage that we learn, or we know them as life lessons. You know, you and I both know that was part of the knapsack that was assigned spiritual. Why? Because that is one of your strengths. So you may be a great listener, but you're not taking your own advice. Or you may be a great person that is compassionate, but yet you're not showing compassion to yourself because you believe that you're not deserving of it. Like you have to pay dues for you to finally get to that place of, how they say it, exhaling, being able to breathe in your own skin. Well, guess what? That body has always evolved. Good, bad, or whatever. It's yours. It will never change. It will not go anywhere. That's why it will never be altered. The only thing it can do is become more healthier. That's why we're watching society trying to convince you that you have to go beyond the call of duty to be accepted. Why? Because they are trying to convince and change the perception so you can be amongst the status quo. I say to you this: do not be the status quo, be the exception. That's what will separate you from the masses, because you know who you are. You know what you're capable of doing, as well as you know where you need to work on, what you must do to bring balance in your life. That is why I always convey to you, my kings and queens, to stop going out into the world seeking love. Not that I'm trying to not to dispel it, but what I'm trying to get you to understand is for you to have that fruitful union that you desire will never come to pass until you start loving yourself. So until you start loving yourself, you will only get glimmers through your associations with people that you have the same like-mindedness. So now, with that being said, if you're constantly attracting those who are unworthy of you, and you constantly go through that wash rinse cycle in your heart with the same result, you're always playing victim or being victimized. Well, guess what? People can't make you a victim unless you allow yourself to be victimized. Now, let me pump my brakes, because this does not give you a permission or a position to have a disposition of being an ass. No. What is being required is for you to see your worth, to put your boundaries up where they should be. Say no when you know you should, to stop going with the flow, to respect yourself, because you do know the energy that you put out is the energy that you attract. You do know that, right? And until you decide to do the work, the lesson will continue until you do. You cannot escape the lessons that are assigned to your name. You cannot do it. You cannot convince yourself. That's why, just for example, look at those who wish to be placed in a position of celebrity. Personally, I'm like this. You can pay me to be a celebrity, because for one, I don't need nobody to validate my worth, because I love myself. I know who I am, and I know that I'm here on this planet to do a certain job. But if you take a position to be deceptive, or you take a position to be manipulative, you do know each and every time you do that, there's a tally being done. there's a tally being done. Because number one, you're deceiving yourself physically, but you're deceiving yourself spiritually. So what happens is, when the tally gets to a certain level, or if you're weighing the scales, when the scale tips, so is the result. So, don't you think you deserve to have a balanced and harmonious life? Well, if you do, why won't you do the work? Why won't you invest in yourself? See, society is going to always convince you that, they started doing that when you were a child. You do realize that. That's why cartoons exist. To start working on your psyche as a child so you can adapt a mindset that will carry you through your adulthood. Think about it. Walt Disney is always portrayed, my knight in shining armor will come and rescue me. No, that's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. Why? Because until you turn around and respect yourself and see your worth, why do you need to be rescued? Sleeping Beauty. She was asleep because she didn't know who she was inside. So until she found her worth inside, she didn't awaken to her true call. Therefore, she didn't reap her life, her purpose. And that's why she had to go through the challenges she did. Think about it. So, when you're going to decide to see your work, you do understand, y'all, this summer is going to emit a lot of revelations, breakthroughs, and your intuition should be on fire. Because you're going to see things are going to come full circle. And guess what? Depending on what you did before, will be the validation if you learned the lesson. Or, if your higher power, as I know him as my Lord Jesus Christ, before he can actually release the blessings that are intended for your life, you're going to walk yourself right into a situation and you're going to be like, I've been there before. I've seen this play out. Well, take a second, be still, and think about that before you act. Be careful what comes out of your mouth, because the words that you speak into existence will eventually come back to be your reality. You do understand that, right? Your words have power. But more importantly, whatever's found in your heart is what is more or less the architect of your life, your reality. So, if you're going around and you have this illusion that the world owes you something, guess what? It won't come into pass. Or actually, what you'll end up doing is attracting the things that will teach you no. You have to work. You have to make your life a reality that you envision in your heart. You do understand that, right? That's why they put so much out there in the media. But haven't you noticed that about 15% of what you see out there has substance, has the values that you need to better your life? Have you noticed that? You know why they do the other 85%? They do it to keep you distracted. To keep you distracted from what you need to do. And as long as they can keep you distracted, you will not focus on what you need to do and what you need to do and how you need to do it. Because they don't want you to think. They don't. Think about it. They want to keep you unbalanced. So my queens, my beautiful queens, it's time for you to get off that high horse, ground your feet, start doing the work. Some of you don't need to see the beauty that you possess within yourself, but you're allowing society to give you a template of what is deemed beautiful. You know they've been doing that with our culture. Come on now. They've been using that, and what does that do? Yank the money out of your pocket into theirs. My kings, they've done the opposite. They've done everything in their power to break your spirit, to compromise your self-respect, and to settle for anything and everything that is not in your best interest. You got to question yourself, when's enough? So, I will say this to you. No one has the power or the ability to make you happy. You do. All they do is validate your state of mind. And it should be priceless. So do not trip. Do not trip on those who do not see eye to eye, on those who are in positions of challenge. Don't trip on that. Pray for them. You keep keeping on. You do your work. Because as you constantly cultivate your life, you're growing. You're enhancing. Look at where you are now compared to where you were last year, this time. You should see growth. You do understand. People don't look at the things that do not have potential. You do understand that, right? Now, I'm going to throw a disclaimer out there. Some people may grasp the concept of materialism as a means of growth. Yes, materialism does have an aspect, but guess what? You can't take it with you. And 9 times out of 10, you end up looking at it with regret. You end up saying, why did I waste my time and effort in investing myself in that project, in that person, or in that item? So it's very important to also understand worth. What does it mean to you? Do you see growth potential in it? Can it help you stimulate your mind? Will it last the test of time? Look at the things that you possess. I guarantee you probably got at least 5 things that you realize that you went through some things to obtain it. And they're priceless. Why? Because they should validate who you are. They should have not only a material value, even if it's only $1, but it sparks emotional connection of self. It should reflect you. And that's priceless. Now, I don't want to be winded, so I'm going to wrap this up. You're going to have a beautiful summer coming. You got to claim that. Make sure that your boundaries are in perspective, because trust me, there are going to be many people that are going to try to test what you're about, be it mentally, financially, or worse, physically. That's why they're thieves in the night, because they don't have the courage to do it during the day. So always speak your truth, okay? Speak it. Speak it with pride. Keep your head up. Keep your feet grounded. And let your higher power guide you to the life intended. Yes, you're gonna have to do some work. But think of it like that farmer. When he stepped out in that yard, into that farm, into that pasture, he probably had crabgrass and old roots and tree stumps and stuff like that. And it was a challenge when he first saw it. But guess what? He made the choice to be consistent, one step at a time. And he removed the crabgrass. He removed the roots. He removed all the obstructions so he could plant those seeds. See, that's the process. The process is time. And by being consistent, being where he had to be, doing the work, those seeds started to take sprout. Those seeds started to expand into what it was created to do. And guess what? His harvest came. His abundance came. So shouldn't your life be that way too? Whatever you put your efforts into, make sure it has potential. Have the courage to do the work. Love yourself. Love yourself. Now remember, you don't need permission from anybody to be you. But if they respect you, see your worth, shouldn't they also have the same like-minded and be willing to embrace the journey? I think you're worth it. And for that, that's why I always pray. So, I would love to hear from you. Enjoy your week. We're on the verge of stepping into summer 2014. This is going to be the summer that is going to break the rough edges and put you on course for the next phase of your life. Embrace it. There's only one you. So as I always say, God's praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. And what a beautiful worth it is. And you know what? For that, it helps me discern mine. You've only got one life, y'all. So make sure that your feet are planted. Let your higher power guide you in the direction that your life is intended. Let your angels protect you. And always love yourself. Have a great weekend, y'all. Be safe. I'll see you next week. Stay blessed.